Good morning, everyone. It is Thursday. Happy St. Patrick's Day, March 17th. And we are going to take a look here at the markets. We're getting a little bit of a pullback, not bad at all. We had a really big move yesterday coming up off of that 42.50 level, going up and closing here around the 436 level. Pulling back in just a little bit here. We're down about 100 points in the Dow futures, and you can see that right here. It's okay. We've had two really big days that have pushed us along. And when you look at the daily on the SPY, so this is a future, so you don't see those gaps. But if you look at the SPY, look at this, we started out with a big gap, pushed up, schwacked all the way back down because we had FOMC, pushed all the way back up. What a roller coaster ride it was. We also had President Zelensky talk to Congress yesterday morning. That was earlier, so we saw some pops in some drone names and some defense names, and then of course we waited for FOMC. They raised a quarter of a point. We knew that. We did see some pullback after a telegraph of maybe up to 7 rate hikes over the year, so we'll just keep a good watch on that. And that adjusts, that changes all the time, and I think the market at the end of the day, yesterday I heard that it was pricing in about 8. So we'll see. We'll see what comes to bear. It's just the way it is. And then we had that. And then this morning we had the ECB raise their rates too. So kind of, it's across the board trying to fight inflation. Typical stuff, right? Okay. So that's our what our SPY looks like. We're getting a nice little pop in some of the commodities like gold and oil are popping here. The NASDAQ, big move on the NASDAQ yesterday. Again, they're seeing a little bit of red, but that's okay. Just kind of much rather not gap up, to be honest. So that's my personal preference. But let's take a look and see what is setting up for today. One that I've been watching here for a while, we've talked about in the community, but one I've really been watching, finally made a really good move yesterday. Big squeeze on CSX, so getting those goods across the country. Big squeeze here, push up right into that point of control on really nice volume. So I'm watching for continuation here of CSX, and I like this one. I'm pushing these out a little bit to May. The May 20th, because we're getting, we're less than a month now to the next expiration there in April. So I'm pushing these out to May, and I like the 37.50s. I would enter this anything over yesterday's high or an opening range break, because it does look like it might be gapping just a smidgen here. So we'll keep an eye on that. So an opening range break or over yesterday's high. My initial target here is going to be at 36.75, and then on up, 36.75, and then on up to 37.50 before heading to that high at 38.63 on CSX. Another one that's still looking pretty good, PFE. So we saw some good moves over the last several sessions in drug companies. mRNA was beautiful yesterday. We're going to take a look at that one as well. But PFE, beautiful, up over the 50. Took a little pause, still taking a little pause, but putting in higher highs, higher lows. Like the look of PFE here, and I like the 52.50s. These two are in May. I didn't set mRNA up, but beautiful close up over the 50. It's looking to continue today. If you're looking at overall the drug and healthcare sectors, I would look at XLV. We broke the downward trend line a couple days ago. Yesterday we came in, confirmed that break up over the squeeze of moving averages in XLV as well. All right, talked about those commodities. Gold coming right back in. Nice long tail. We have a gap to fill. We're actually in the middle of this gap right here. This morning we are sitting at right at the 20, or maybe just a smidge above the 20 at 181.30. Looking for continuation in GLD. I like the 182s. So that those as well are the 520s. Anything over yesterday's high or an opening range break, use the 20 as a stop. Square, I know, right? Look at this thing. But I guess the case could be made that maybe we have, I'm drawing, I know, it's okay. We'll be okay. An inverse head and shoulders here. Okay, not how I would typically like to see them kind of play out, but to me, this looks like a nice little play here, especially if we continue up over the 50. I'd be very cautious with this one because it can be pretty whippy. So I would, bid them in. If you have the wide bid and ask, which we've seen in a lot of plays here lately, the wider bid and ask, if it's a play that you want to take, you feel really strong about, make sure to bid it in. Don't go in on the ask. Don't go, take it in at market, or wait for those bid and ask to tighten up a bit. The tighter those bid and asks are, the more liquidity it actually has. So anyway, Square here, I like the look of Square. I like the 115s. Now these I do like in April because the May haven't picked up quite enough volume for me yet, but watch that, or open interest, but watch that volume today. If we get some good volume going on today, then I would go ahead and push those out to the 520 as well. So here on Square, anything over yesterday's close, and then use that 50 as a stop on a close, not just a whip around it, but like if it looks to close below the 50, I'd be worried about a failing chart there. And another thing to look for, if it does pull back just a smidge, but it's on really low volume, that typically sets up a bullish setup. So if you have any questions about how to maybe gauge that, since it is so close to the 50, shoot me a PM and we will talk about it. And lastly, going back to the commodities. Oh, actually, I do have another one after this. Halliburton here found support at the 20 the last couple of days. You can see this is a nice little area of support. Watch for a reversal in this. The 3 did cross back below the 8. We're looking for the 3 to push back up above the 8 on some better volume here, but using that 20, anything over yesterday's open, so that would be right here at 34.75 for a push up above the 8, or wait until it clears that 8. So one's a little bit more aggressive, one a little safer, and use a close below the 20 as a stop there on Hale. I like the 35s in May. And then lastly, little shopping here. Look at this chart. This is just really, it does seem to be a little teeter-tottery, but look at this, just nicely climbing up the 8. Green day, red day, green day, red day. We had a nice green day here yesterday, but not as much conviction as we test the previous high there at 153.98. I did not see any options I like on this, but I like the look of this chart for a pure breakout play, so keep an eye on that. All right, that is it for me here this morning. I will be out early in the morning, and then I will be back after I get all the kids dumped off at school. And so be cautious. Looks like we're going to start a little red. Would like to see that. Wouldn't mind even seeing a little bit more of a pullback if you look at the, here we go. So this is the pre-market. Wouldn't even mind just a little bit more of a pullback for a red to green move on the day. All right, everyone, if you have any questions, Heather C at givingtreetrading.com. Have a fantastic St. Patrick's Day. Drink a green something, and I will see you later.